Are you gonna have red for
the color that I need is welcome to Straight Outta Content Podcast. That's the color that I need. You know, see, I got a new setup. Because I finally got my HDMI capture card. This is Straight Outta Content Podcast. This is episode 26. 25 is out on all platforms, but 26, this is the big one. This is the big one because we've had so much stuff going on. And guess who I got with me? I got the special guest. I got the man himself. Agree to disagree, Mr. Disagree or agree, whatever you decide. What's up, Omar?
What's going on, Carl? We got a lot of news. We got Canelo. We got Devin Haney. We got the lightweight division. What else do we have? We got Deontay. We got everything.
You want to go ahead and start with Deontay?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go to it because we ended with Deontay last time.
We did too. And I heard Teddy Atlas, he was kind of like where you were at. Like, I feel you on the glove gate, but this other shit you talking about, son, it don't sound right. And that's how you felt. You know what I mean? And it's not wrong. I think, again, I think because he's like, I'm such a fan, I think I don't want to believe that he's the type to come up with conspiracy theories. You know what I mean?
It has happened before, so I can't blame him. There was, what was that? Panama Lewis, remember him? He had a special bottle. Then Panama Lewis with Luis Resto.
No, whatchamacallit told to pass me the special bottle. Not Panama Lewis.
Who was it?
The Hawk. The Hawk. God damn it, the Hawk.
Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron the Hawk Pryor, yeah. Remember he got past, I think he was fighting Alexis Arguello.
Well, who was his coach?
I don't know, but he told the coach to get him the other bottle.
Okay.
And he got blamed for that bottle having something special in it.
Because he came out that round full of energy.
I mean, come on. What the hell? They gonna give you Coke? They give you liquid Coke?
Caffeine.
Well, back then they probably did.
And they were saying, Frank Warren was saying that, hey, look, if your bottle was spiked, so how come it didn't show up in the Nevada State Athletic Commission's testing? But they don't test for any other drugs except for special ones, right?
No, that's not true. They
incorrect?
test for a lot.
For everything?
They test for a lot.
Okay.
They test for, but again, it
Sleep
would be
medication?
something. What? Huh?
Sleep medication?
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like, it just gives people room to smash you, and it pulls down your glove gate.
You should have just stuck with glove gate and addressed that, because Nevada State Commission or WBC and Frank Warren, nor they have denied it, because if you ask them about the pictures, they don't talk about the pictures. They just say, oh, these allegations are erroneous and doesn't have any validity. You know, we respect Deontay Wilder, but these allegations are crazy. But guess what? Did you answer the questions about the pictures? No one has.
Everybody has. Everybody knows it.
Not the proper authorities. Not WBC.
Trust me, if we know it, then if the media knows it, then the proper freaking authorities know it. And his lawsuits.
What has WBC said about the pictures? Not, not the gloves itself, the pictures itself.
Well, again, we don't know because there's litigation.
Is he suing? I wonder.
That's what I'm saying. There's litigation. And then I'm sure the WBC, they've made certain claims, but they're probably not going to. I mean, we all know he's not getting his belt back.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we all know how the WBC is. I mean, we can go ahead and fucking touch on it. What I loved about DAZN, I thought this Saturday's fight with DAZN and Devin Haney and Yuriorkis Gamboa. I thought the quality of the whole production was fucking trash, right? That's just my opinion. But I do want to commend those commentators because they called out the WBC. Nobody else would do that. Except for Floyd, but Floyd can because he's his own entity. But it was dope to see those guys on DAZN like, yo.
Floyd's free to do that, so it doesn't matter. He's not in boxing. He doesn't need WBC or anything. Floyd's
well, you got to understand, you still want your fighters
to
get these belts, right?
But you can address these. You can address these questions about the corruption in all these organizations. Yeah, you can't just turn a blind eye to them.
Who did?
No, you can't turn a blind eye to these organizations. Of course, you're going to address them. It's there. There's a big elephant in the room. All these sanction fees and people just jumping on. WBC was all Deontay, and all of a sudden, when Tyson Fury has a country behind him, now they're all Tyson Fury. But guess what? At one point, when WBC was there, were they there for the Margarito fight? When he got caught all these times, I know he cheated. Nevada State Athletic Commission, they weren't able to catch him either until Nazim Richardson caught him, right?
Yeah, but I think that's separate than the sanctioning bodies. I don't even think the new guy.
If you make a claim without looking at the evidence, you're already saying the man is innocent before anything else. You got to look at everything. You can't say innocence, because if this was to go to a court of law, they're going to ask him so many things. They're going to ask him about, did you pay that farmer to say no about his steroid use?
But you realize nothing has ever been overturned, ever.
Whether it's overturned or not, the suspicion is there, and the pictures are there that shows. So you can't deny it.
But you can, and it already has been denied. I mean, we had pictures and
you can't deny pictures.
We had pictures and video of Margarito, yet he was still able to compete.
Not here.
Yeah, he fought Pacquiao in fucking Dallas. He was just suspended, but he was still able to compete. And he was able to compete for the belt, you know what I mean? Another belt. Well, it was Pacquiao's belt, but it was still another belt. So what I'm saying is, what is that? We got in a conversation of the WBC and their fuckery and their sanctioning body, splitting belts, because Devin Haney was defending his WBC belt, but Teofimo Lopez has the franchise version of it, and they're the only people who created a franchise within their sanctioning body. So it's like, it taints both. It taints Teofimo Lopez's championship, and it taints Devin Haney's, because Devin Haney was given his belt. He didn't earn it.
You can't just get the franchise belt, because you have to be a special numbers guy. And Teofimo Lopez just stepped into the scene. You just don't take someone's juice. Just like
he did.
You can't, because
he already did.
That's the main thing. Just because he beats Lomachenko, they say he's a special fighter.
Yes.
So he beats Lomachenko. He just doesn't become franchise champ.
Yeah, he does. That's exactly what happened. He's their current franchise champ.
That makes no
sense. That's the hypocrisy that DAZN called out yesterday. That was beautiful to see. They called it out. They said, this is only the WBC is doing this. And they decided to create this franchise champion because Devin Haney was in line to fight for the WBC belt, which was vacated by Mikey Garcia. And then Lomachenko won it fair and square. It was a vacant belt. Lomachenko beat the guy, won it. Then Devin Haney was in line to fight for it. Boom. As soon as he's in line to fight for it, the WBC says, we're going to franchise Lomachenko and give the belt to Devin Haney so Lomachenko doesn't have to fight him because he's with a different promotional company.
What happens with Lopez when he jump into 140? Does he carry that 140 moniker?
As long as he pays his sanctioning fees, you get to keep your belt.
It's all about sanctioning fees. That's all. It's a business, nothing else. It's not who deserves what.
Exactly.
Well, like who's willing to pay these sanctioning fees and keep these organizations rich? That's all.
You know what I think is going to happen? I think the WBC, which was once revered as the #1 belt, is going to start to trickle down. And I think the other belts, as long as they don't go that route, I think they're going to start to trickle up. And soon people are going to be, you remember when HBO was #1 and Showtime was #2, then Floyd went over to Showtime and brought it all the way up and killed HBO. I think that's not going to happen. I'm telling you.
It surpassed HBO. Then HBO started getting all these European fighters that Americans never heard of. And they were just naming them, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And nobody watched. Nobody cared.
Well, they had some people. They had Andre Ward. They had
but Andre Ward was
Canelo,
never but Andre Ward was never a pay-per-view star. But Andre Ward, as regarded, he's one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, definitely. That's true. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know. But all I know is that let's go ahead and talk about the fight. Since we're talking about the belt, let's go ahead and talk about the fight.
How was the fight? Let me hear what you have to say.
I'm not knocking. This is the thing with these young social media guys, right? No, they only have yes men in their corner. Nobody's if you at least Ryan Garcia is smoking guys, right? Like he has a social media thing, but at least he's getting guys that don't belong in the ring with him the hell out of there, right?
Pause for a second.
Go ahead.
Who are these guys? Name these guys.
No. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know
the
these
guys that don't belong in there with him. He's getting them the hell out of there.
But
see what I'm saying?
Gamboa has a long history in Cuban boxing. He's Olympian. He's faced better competition. He's at the end of his career, but he should have finished Gamboa. At one time, he rocked him, but couldn't finish him.
I'm going to say this.
He doesn't have the power to knock him out.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to pause for 1 second, okay? Any elite fighter that fights Gamboa and doesn't knock him down can't hit for shit. You got pillows in your hands, and they even said the statistic during the fight. Gamboa's last 11 fights, he's been knocked down. Gamboa's last 10 fights, he's been knocked down 11 times. Mm-hmm. This guy's been knocked out in his last fight, knocked down 3 or 4 times in his last fight, knocked out, quit on the stool a couple of fights ago, been knocked down all throughout his career, and you can't knock him down? At 21 years old, you're in the prime of your career, and you can't knock him down? Are you kidding me? So give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead. Where were we?
Yeah. We were talking about, I said, if you can't knock down Gamboa, then you can't hit for shit, basically.
Well, not to come to Devin's defense, but he just got off surgery.
Come on, Omar. Stop, Omar. He's never been known as a puncher. That's been his biggest thing. Stinking up the show and never been known as a puncher. Like, every time he fights, it's like he's in a sparring session. Like, he has no, like,
it looked like,
killer instinct. Does it look like the Devin Haney's trying to kill his opponent?
No, but let's go back to him getting touched up by Gamboa, too.
He was. Yeah, man. He was.
And he was saying that about Tank, that Gamboa touched up Tank. But guess what? He got touched up himself. He couldn't end the show. It could have been his surgery. We don't know, but we'll see as time will tell. I don't see him after that performance. I don't see him beating Lopez, and I think Lopez is the strongest in that division. He's killing himself to make that weight, and he's coming down to 135, but I think he's going to be like 147, 150 come fight night.
Yeah.
Because he looked huge They look like how many weight classes separated them when he fought Lomachenko.
Yep. And Devin Haney let the smaller man, like, don't forget, Gamboa and Tank are about the same size. Devin, you're way bigger than Gamboa. And you, like you said, you let this guy touch you up, like tap you up a bunch of times. I was like, yo.
And Gamboa didn't look defined to the body. He looked a little portly in the body. He should have gone to the body and knocked him down or something. That didn't happen. That
was just, it was the most boring, laxative.
And Eddie Hearn said, this is going to be more watched than Tank. Was it more exciting than Tank? No. I hardly believe it's been more watched than the Tank and Leo fight.
No, hell, that's got to be the most watched fight of the year. And there was people there, 9,000 people.
Yeah, and which did good numbers, which is
I know.
For the first pay-per-view. I said over 1 million because if people knew what was to come, they would have watched because that was a great card.
Have they released their numbers yet?
Yeah, it's close to 300. That's still good. In this era, it's good numbers.
True.
Solid.
That's good if you compare that to the free broadcast, or was that 3 million?
Which broadcast are you talking about?
The Lomachenko free ESPN fight.
Yeah, that's 3 mil around there. That's the highest broadcast.
But only since 2019. Like, when you start saying, yeah, I got the best numbers. Yeah, well, it's COVID, so everybody's home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, come on. It's like, who out here saying people cheated. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. So what do you think's next? Because you know me, I think that Tank and make the fight, but I'm hearing that, again, it's still going to be Ryan Garcia. That's what I'm hearing.
It's going to be Tank and Ryan Garcia. It has to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going business, but we talked about this before. It's going to go business and then come to the negotiating table. But Bob, like his hard ass is, he's going to say, no, I got the best fighter. He has the belts and whatnot. It doesn't matter. Bob knows. Look, whoever's the attraction, whoever puts seats in the asses, well, this is a little different, but whoever puts eyeballs to the screens is the A side. And Tank is right now the A side. Yeah. It doesn't matter what Teofimo did against Lomachenko. Does not matter because he has been on pay-per-view. He's fought more people and he's fought people that had, especially Atlanta. That was a great turnout.
Yeah, definitely. Sold out, right?
Yeah. No one knows Lomachenko other than the avid fan like us.
Yeah.
Outside, is he a household name? No. Tank is almost a household name. He is
amongst the black community. Yeah.
Hip hop community, not black community. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's with Lil Baby. He's with Uzi. So he's getting his name out there. Great marketing. Great maneuvering him. Leonard, Floyd, they're building a star. He is a star. He's going to be a superstar.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as you say that, I listen to you and I say, yeah, you know what? If you are going to go into negotiations, because I'm kind of rethinking, because you know me, I was thinking he's going to go for the belt. But I'm thinking if you're going to go into renegotiations, on the other side of the table, Bob Arum's going to say, well, we did 3 million views, right? So if you go into the negotiations with a win over Ryan Garcia, and God knows how many views that gets, right? Depending on the platform, God knows how many views that gets, how many buys, then you're right. Then he has that weight to be like, look, I did this with Leo Santa Cruz and I did Live Gate. And I did this with Ryan Garcia and I did Live Gate. We got to meet at the very least 50-50. And I think Floyd being in Tank's corner will be like, yo, take this 50-50 fight. Listen, take this 50-50 fight because once you get the belts from Top Rank on our side, then you can do whatever the fuck you want. Think about that. There's only the person over there at lightweight, one of the hottest divisions right now. The only other person who got belts is Teofimo Lopez. So you go over there, take this 50-50 fight like I did with Oscar De La Hoya, and then you rule anything you do moving forward.
Disagree.
Period.
Disagree.
Why?
Because he doesn't have to. He already demands 60-40. If you look at it, look at the numbers going up. I understand. Take this chance. He doesn't have to. The chance is take this 60. Okay, not take this 50.
Don't not make the fight for 10% is what I'm saying. And Floyd won't allow him to do that. I'm telling you.
Remember,
Floyd's going to be like, yo, watch.
Well, Floyd won't do that. Al will have everything ready.
Floyd did it for De La Hoya.
De La Hoya was a different beast. Teofimo Lopez is nowhere close to De La Hoya's stardom.
100% agree. But we're dealing with Bob Arum's bitch ass. Prime example with Pacquiao. Floyd was the A side. And finally, after all the years.
Floyd wasn't. It flipped. So hold up. It was at one point, Floyd was going to take 40%. Remember that? Then it turned into Floyd becoming 60-40 after Pacquiao's fighting all the flunkies.
No,
okay?
Floyd said 40, which I don't even remember, but for sake of argument, say he did say 40. If Floyd said 40, it was to call the bluff. Like, prime example, Canelo saying, I'll fight Floyd Mayweather at 152 pounds. Floyd said, okay. And the same thing with this fight. Oh, you guys got Michael Conson, everybody, saying that, Floyd is asking for too much. I'll take 40. What's your play? Oh, no, we're going to go fight Shane Mosley. Oh, no, we're going to go fight who's the dude that Danny Garcia put his fucking lights out? Bam Bam Rios. You know what I mean? Versus fighting Floyd. I don't even know if that was before or after, but my point to the matter is that in these negotiations dealing with Bob Arum has no prime example. Errol Spence, Bud Crawford. We know who the money star is there. But Bob Arum is in no way, shape, or form ready to allow Bud Crawford to fight Errol Spence. Why? Because if he only has one belt in the welterweight division under his banner. If he lets him fight over there, then now they have all the power.
Is the fight next week?
Yeah.
When is it?
No, this coming up. If today's Sunday, yeah. This Kell Brook next fight week. Is this week. Yeah.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the reason why it's a huge risk, because he's like, okay, if I lose it to if I'm Bob Arum and I let my fighter fight Kell Brook and somehow Kell Brook has an upset, I think I can still purchase Kell Brook for a few more fights, at the very least a rematch. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? But if Tank Davis gets all the belts from Teofimo Lopez, what leverage does Bob Arum have? And that's what he's always done. He did the same thing with Pacquiao. It's okay. Pacquiao doesn't need to fight Floyd. He'll fight this guy. Pacquiao doesn't need to fight Floyd. He'll fight this guy. He'll fight Jeff Horn. He'll fight all these guys when all you have is just that same WBO belt.
Yeah, because Pacquiao fought these guys because they came at a very discounted price too. And they were all under Top Rank
banner.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm going to fight Tim Bradley for a third time. I'm going to fight Marquez for a fourth time. Like what?
And these people were acquired by Top Rank under that, and they were able to do business with these small time promoters. Who the hell was Jeff Horn?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Who was Jeff Horn until
he fought back?
Bob Arum got him. Yeah, I know who he is.
And that's why I'm like, yo, it's some straight up bullshit. Like, we unfortunately might not see Tank Davis versus Teofimo Lopez until 2022, maybe 2023. I don't think we see that fight in 2020.
If Lopez goes up to 140, he's going to have some trouble making that weight coming down. Even though it's 5 pounds, he's cutting a lot more than 5 pounds just to make it to 140. That's a big boy. Yeah,
you're right. I think
he might get the Roy Jones effect coming down.
No, that was 25 pounds of muscle. That's different.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you're right. Like, right. What Omar is saying is very accurate. But take into consideration that everybody gets up for certain fights, and coming down 5 pounds or not, Prime example. Everybody gets up for certain fights. Tank Davis had to drop 5 pounds to fight Leo Santa Cruz, but he got up for Leo Santa Cruz. So Teofimo Lopez will definitely get up for fucking a Tank Davis fight, even if it's at 5 pounds lower than his one fight at 140. It's not like that he's campaigning. Huh?
Tank said it best, because if he goes up to 135, he'll be stronger. He'll be stronger. He'll be strongest, as opposed to Teofimo coming down, being weak. That's why he's not taking.
I don't think he's going to be weak. I think he's going to get up. My prime example, was Tank Davis weak for the Leo Santa Cruz fight? No. Thank you.
But did you see Tank Davis's abs for the Leo Santa Cruz fight?
I don't know why you're. That's called hydration.
Yeah.
You know what that's called?
Did you see it at the camp too?
I got you right here. This is what this called.
He looked better in other fights.
No, listen.
His abs look way better.
You know boxing. You know boxing. So you're gonna be like, okay, you're right. Right? You know what that's called? That's called boxing training for 15 weeks, not weightlifting and running in fucking little hurdles and doing shit like that. Get you a 6-pack.
Okay. Now
boxing training is going to get you looking and performing right.
Now let's go to Floyd. You ever see Floyd, except for one fight? He looked flabby. That's when he was
genetics.
Now you bring in genetics.
No, come on. Floyd has remarkable genetics. Come on.
Well, he's been working out since he was a baby.
That's what I'm saying. And look at his dad and look at his uncles. They were shredded men. His father was shredded. His father still has some size.
You know who has almost a carbon copy body of Floyd?
Don't say Devin Haney. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does. Look at his abs.
They don't sink in. Floyd's abs used to sink in. Like, he's genetically a different animal. And don't forget,
Floyd is strong. Floyd is strong.
That's what I'm saying. This is a man that did, easily in his prime, a few thousand sit-ups maybe. You know what I mean? Like, Tank's not necessarily doing that. Tank's boxing, right? He's like, yo, fuck all that other shit. I'm going to box and get my body. Prime example, Ali, right? Ali had a decent body frame, but that meant George Foreman. Same thing.
Man, you're going heavyweight, so that's a whole different story.
But I can give you any guy.
You could be
Oscar De La Hoya.
It doesn't matter.
Oscar De La Hoya in his prime.
All right.
Oscar De La Hoya in his prime wasn't super shredded. Yet when that motherfucker was smashing on people and stopping people, and he beat fair and square. He beat Pernell Whitaker, who also wasn't that shredded. These guys were that whole fitness shit and getting all extra shredded. That shit just fell into, like, some fighters just net Evander Holyfield. His traps.
He's a freak of nature.
His motherfucking traps. He had no legs.
He actually looks good at this age.
Yes, I'm saying. Look at, you know what I'm saying? So don't come at me with that flab. Oh, he looked like this. No. That boy was ready. That boy was strong. He was locked and loaded. Some fighters, Errol Spence is the prime example. Errol Spence and Kell Brook, them two motherfuckers look like bodybuilders. Mm-hmm. And they don't do nothing. They be eating McDonald's and drinking. Errol Spence drunk after every fight and still shredded.
Have you seen the new Errol Spence?
No, but speaking about this, hey, bro, so break the news to me on the update of Tank Davis.
Well, what do you mean? Which part?
I don't know nothing except there was an accident.
Oh, it was a hit and run.
I heard that. How's his?
That's as far as it goes. Investigation still in pursuit.
Really?
Yeah. He'll be okay. There was injuries. It wasn't major anything. But
was there arrest?
No. But it is thought to be Tank Davis driving the car.
Damn.
Man.
Leaving Texas?
I don't know where it was. But yeah.
Because I seen
Tank was taking driving lessons from Halle Berry, but that's a different story.
I'm. Yeah. So who do we got, man? Next week? Oh, this coming up week, man. 7 days. I'm so hyped for this fight.
This is one of the few fights that I really want to watch. Top Rank is getting there. They've been feeding us trash fights on ESPN, and now we have something legitimate. And we had something legitimate a few weeks ago with Loma and Lopez.
Oh, and then Tank right after that.
No, I'm talking about Top Rank and ESPN.
Oh, true. So are you coming over for that fight? Because I'm totally free.
When is it?
Saturday.
Yeah, we could do that.
After work, can you swing by?
I'm gonna try my best. You know how it is.
We got it.
Work. Yeah.
No, I know. But hopefully it's not at some weird time.
No, it's in America. Why would it be a weird time?
I don't know.
I think it's in the Las Vegas bubble, right?
I hope so.
No.
I hope so. I'm so excited for this fight.
There's no promotion for that fight. Nothing.
It's Top Rank. The way that they do their fighters is foul. Like every day I logged onto YouTube, every video that I watched on YouTube, the commercial would be Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz, or the Charlo brothers. But there's no, there's nothing. I think
PBC invests in their fighters, and they don't take. Al doesn't take a promotional fee. He charges the network. Why do you need a promoter these days? For what? To set up the ring?
Okay. Perfect segue.
To put seats, really?
Perfect segue into.
Go ahead.
Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
That boy, that man, he's free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Listen, do you think he's going to Mayweather Promotions, or do you think he's going to do a Mayweather and just be his own entity? What do you think?
Oh, he said he's going to be his own entity.
Really?
He's going to, yeah. I just read it. And the main goal was to be his own man, be his own promoter, and then link up with whoever the promoter is. So
you bring Ryan Garcia with
first fight, it's just a matter of time. But Ryan just signed a big deal for being the highest paid prospect. So
are you serious?
He is locked in. Yeah, he signed that like a year ago.
Oh, I must have missed it. How much did he sign for?
It doesn't say. It's undisclosed. But he's the highest paid prospect.
Really?
What does that mean? Yeah. And Oscar doesn't want to spend any more money into his company. That's where he has the DAZN spend all the money.
Bro, you think Oscar's pissed off of that DAZN contract that he signed? Because you know how much money? Think about it. Canelo signed an 11-fight contract. And it just got cut after how many fights? 6, 7?
Doesn't matter. You know what? They negotiated, and I'm sure they let him go. They gave Oscar a piece of money, a piece of the pie, and gave Canelo a piece of the pie just to go away, so they don't have to spend that much. Because if they go into litigation, they're going to lose.
Well, the litigation's already over. Question.
No, like if they take it to the court ruling, it was
already over. They already had litigation. That's what led to this split.
No, they had arbitration, I believe.
Oh, well, then even better because it's solved.
So it's solved, but we don't know if there's any clause or anything like that. But Oscar still gets paid. He still has his fighters in DAZN.
But okay. And there's another question for Omar. Omar, you think this is the end of DAZN, that they're about to do what HBO did as far as boxing? Yeah, I think so
done.
Too.
It's here. So too. They overextended themselves. It was a big pool of money. Being back, just because you throw money at it, is not going to be successful. We see that in boxing all the time. How many people have come and gone, say, oh, this promoter, this, SMS Promotions, TMT, which now it's no longer TMT, Floyd owns that. They come and go. If you don't have, what?
What do you think, right? Tell me if this is like some old shit. Okay. Floyd and De La Hoya leave Arum. De La Hoya gets what's that guy's name that really helped build Golden Boy?
Richard Schaefer.
Richard Schaefer. They built Golden Boy to a tremendous company.
Not they. Schaefer. He's a Swiss banker who helped, and he was the mastermind behind it.
Okay.
And De La Hoya was the face.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They together. They together.
All right.
Because he's no longer there, and De La Hoya still done well without him, right? So let's give him his credit. Together, they built.
He wasn't. He was about to fold. He was this close to signing with PBC because DAZN came in, said we'll pay you this much for Canelo, and we'll also pay you for your fighters because they needed content.
Well, let me get it out. Let me get it out. Let me get out. De La Hoya, Richard Schaefer create Golden Boy. Floyd Mayweather's a free agent. Floyd Mayweather then specifically fights because at this time, Golden Boy had pretty much an entire stable of awesome fighters. They were at the peak of their career. Floyd Mayweather fights all of their top competition. Fast forward, Floyd retires.
Floyd know where you're going.
Floyd creates Mayweather Promotions. Oscar De La Hoya now loses a bunch of his stable. Now does Canelo, the new Floyd Mayweather, fights PBC fighters.
Yes.
As a free agent.
Of course. Absolutely.
I think him and Floyd are closer than people think.
Look, Canelo wants to be his own man. He doesn't care. He has a lot of pride. And even though they go back and forth, everybody wants to be their own man. And sometimes there's some jealousy that Floyd throws his money. Yeah, Floyd throws his money around.
Not
Floyd's his own. No, Pacquiao does it for God. He doesn't care about money, but that's a different story.
Except for when he was tricking off. Never mind.
Arum was tricking off of him and used him. And he had just a box of receipts. We're going off topic, but he's going to fight everyone. Let me tell you how it goes. Okay. We already have Caleb Plant. Awesome fighter. Not to that level.
What belts? Because I don't know.
I don't know. Who cares? ABC belt.
Gotcha.
You know, it doesn't matter.
168?
168.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay.
So Caleb Plant, December. Negotiations happening. If David Benavidez can be disciplined, he fights him too. That's a big boy. But Benavidez does not have the skills as Canelo. But he's a big boy. He can punch. You got that. Then you have Charlo right there. 2021.
Okay. All right. Because I was scared you wasn't going to say it. But you said it. You said him.
Yeah. With Charlo after his last performance, I don't think he beats Canelo. And I'm a Charlo fan.
I don't even care if it's his last performance. This motherfucker Canelo is doing some shit in the gym. This dude, I said, this is a Mexican Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
That's
after fighting Floyd. After fighting Floyd, the head movement, the hips, and the twitches and everything, that's Floyd.
You talking about Devin Haney? No. Devin Haney is not the closest to Floyd. Canelo is.
You're looking at, if you look at the second fight, I think we discussed this, the Golovkin fight.
Bro.
Look nice.
Canelo is looking Listen, this kid, I said,
if his body holds up. If his body holds up. He's getting injuries. He's got knee surgery. He's got a knee brace.
People can get mad. People can get mad, and I don't really care. There's never been a Mexican body on planet Earth that hasn't held up. There we go. Just go ahead. Just had to go ahead and say that. There's never been a Mexican body.
There's nothing to be mad about. That's actually a compliment.
I know. I'm just saying, just in case you want to get offended, in boxing, the most durable fighters of all time, from mental to physical, are Mexican fighters, hands down, period.
And if the skills go, this
never goes.
This never goes.
Yes, exactly.
Art never goes. Forget it.
So I'm sorry. He may be a little light-skinned, but he's not in any. That man can fight till he's 100. So I'm gonna X that out of the way. I'm not wanting to see Jermall Charlo fight Canelo because I love them both so much as a fan. I don't want to see who's going. Like, I didn't care about Triple G, right? So I was going into it like, yo, fuck that. Like, yo, Canelo.
We're the only two that are not Mexican that believe Canelo won those 2 fights.
Yeah, well, we have common sense though, so
yeah, but whatever, doesn't matter.
We have common sense, but again, I don't want to see it, bro. Because I don't want my heroes to lose. I don't want Canelo to lose, and I don't want Jermall Charlo to lose.
I see Jermall Charlo getting stopped by Canelo. And I think Jermall Charlo's great.
I don't think he's going to be quitting him. I don't think he's going to quit.
TKO.
Nah, that's still quitting. That's not throwing back for 10 seconds.
Referee comes in. You don't have to quit. The referee stops. That's TKO, technical. I'm right.
Has Jermall Charlo ever been dropped?
I think he's been knocked down, but early.
Because we know Jamel has. I gotta go see if there's a Jermall Charlo video of him getting knocked down. I don't know because he's so big too. I don't know. I mean,
he's lean and big. Canelo's a thick boy. You get what I'm saying?
Canelo's boxing skills, are.
And did you see the same skills? Do you see the same skills in Jermall as Canelo?
Are you asking
you love
me?
Both of them. I'm asking you.
Okay, here's my breakdown of Jermall Charlo.
I already know.
Here's my breakdown of Jermall Charlo. I don't think we haven't had to see, some people may understand this, some people may not. We haven't had to see Jermall Charlo face Frieza yet. He's only had to face the Ginyu squad and Vegeta and all these other guys who are some serious foes.
I don't know your Pokemon characters because I don't.
He hasn't had to go to the next level, and I believe it's in him, right? Some fights change fighters. Prime example, Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo Alvarez changed Canelo Alvarez.
Yes.
So I don't think that Jermall Charlo has had that fight going into the fight with a modern day Floyd Mayweather, Mexican Floyd Mayweather. So when we saw Canelo fight Floyd Mayweather, we thought he had the tools to beat Floyd Mayweather. But the experience of Floyd Mayweather allowed him to clearly win. And I think that Canelo is now in that position. And Jermall Charlo is now going to the next level of competition in which it's not to his detriment and it's not to his fault that those people haven't been put in front of him for us to see how well this kid can really fight. Do I believe that Jermall Charlo has that Super Saiyan level 1, 2, 3, and 4 and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue in him? Yes, I believe that. I just don't think we've had the opportunity to see that like we've seen Canelo with the triple G's, with the 175, with the dude over there, 175, I always forget his name. Kovalev and stuff like that. We haven't got the dude who we beat, Chavez Jr., these huge guys. We haven't had that opportunity to see that out of Jermall. What we see out of Jermall is just this motherfucker's Mack trucking the people that they put in front of him. Mm-hmm. So when we pull the Mack truck, we put the Mack truck in front of, an almost immovable force in Canelo. It's like, what happens? Does the Mack truck smash into the wall and do some damage, but doesn't necessarily get through the wall? Or does he drive straight through the wall? Because I believe fighters get up for certain fights. I truly believe Jermall Charlo is going to go into he's going to go into his bag because he's got the people around him to do it.
Well, they have to be a setup fight for that. A mutual fighter is going to be Danny Jacobs.
No, I'm sorry.
Why not?
Charlo beats Jacobs easy.
I like to see that. And how?
Charlo beats Jacobs. Oh, again, there we go. Look at the experience. Look at the great fights that Canelo has got to have and put under his fucking body. I totally forgot about that fight. Thank you.
Well, he's fighting Rosado. Waste.
Who is?
Rosado. Danny Jacobs on DAZN.
You see how they're ducking Jamal? You see how they're ducking Jamal, bro?
They're going to fight. Danny Jacobs is still advised by Al.
He's not fighting.
Who's he going to fight?
I think Jamal should go ahead and fight Triple G. Since he beat the guy who people say beat Triple G, I think Triple G's a free enough agent to get a good fight in with Jamal.
Which network?
It'll be PBC. GGG can fight anywhere. That's easy.
No, he's signed to DAZN.
He can fight with fucking PBC.
He's fighting some dude I never even heard of.
They're so fucking scared of Jamal. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, that's the edge that Jamal has too. But again, when we're talking like straight skills, like you asked me my skills, I'm going to say the experience side and the professional side goes to Canelo. I just think that Jamal, that he has something.
He does. No one's taking that away.
I see in Jamal doing to Canelo what I see Kell Brook able to do to Terrence Bud Crawford.
With that thought, you have to say that after the fight next week.
You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm coming from.
I see the potential. But in physicality, I see the roles reversed. I see Canelo being Kell and Jamal being Bud, because look at the wiry, frail body, but cut, as opposed to Kell being thick and ripped.
Jamal is jacked.
Body type.
If they think about it, and if they fight at 168,
he's ripped. He's ripped. Canelo,
he's strong.
Thick boy.
Think about it. He's a twin, and he's stronger than his twin brother, who's the exact same everything as him. That's genetic. You genetically get that. He genetically got the power because his brother don't punch like he does. Not. Listen, what the fuck he just did to Rosario was insane, but naturally it doesn't look like that. You know, the eye test doesn't say like, yo, this kid punches harder than Jamal. Jamal is known as just like he punches through you.
Before you get cut off, my eye test says your battery's about to die.
Okay, so let me go ahead and swap that out.
Yes. All right, we're back. I see.
Yeah, yeah.
After these messages.
Right, after these messages, after our sponsors and stuff like that. Yeah, so you wanted to touch on DAZN closing down?
Yeah, it was a great concept. It lasted a quick minute. I liked the $10. Then it started going up and up. But still, you can't have, it's not Netflix. You can't have boxing like Netflix and sell it. It was a good concept, but you gotta have fights. If you don't have fights, and if you don't have audience, you're not gonna make that money. You're just gonna keep putting money into it. So I see DAZN closing down, which they said that they're gonna close up all the boxing promoters down, and it's not happening. Oh yeah, Eddie said he's gonna come and close everybody down. So
that's maybe in the UK, not here in America, buddy.
Yeah. Sorry. There's too much money to be made, and people will pay to watch premium fights. And now that you see COVID hit, you see a lot of good fights being made. And I'm a PBC fan, and now everybody's following suit like the PBC. Showtime did a great job. That was a great promotion.
Yep.
That was a great event.
Yep.
You know that. You've been there.
Yep. And the Errol Spence fight is going to be a great event.
Oh, it's going to be a huge event
on Fox.
Especially we're in COVID era. But now, what is the new? I don't want to say Mecca, but what is the new place of boxing now?
Texas. Somebody else's fight is coming here to Texas too. Damn, I can't remember. Yeah, but they just announced somebody else's fight is going to be here in Texas as well.
Which promoter?
I forgot. If it comes across my timeline again, I'll speak on it. But I want to say somebody else is also coming here to Texas. It's about to be, because you can have fans. Mm-hmm. There, now the live gate, so you can make a lot of your money back, or at least, you know what I mean?
And state income tax.
Yeah, there's no income tax. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's a huge, Hispanics buy seats. It was for what the tickets that could be sold, it was a sold out event for Tank Davis fight.
Buy seats and watch seats, buy concession. It's a party. It's an event.
It sucks to be on those other promotional companies. And just to touch on and kind of finish off with the DAZN thing, if you notice their model, they never sought, outside of Canelo, they never sought the cream of the crop. They happened to just have Anthony Joshua, and they happened to get Canelo. Outside of those two guys, maybe Triple G a little bit, but I don't really remember watching Triple G outside of Canelo.
Triple G was just bought in to fight Canelo, but they didn't put that into the contract. They said premium fights.
Well, what I'm saying is
where their language was all fucked up.
No, I'm saying that if you look at their models of their first roster with the who's the kid that fought Adrian Broner and Pacquiao? He's been
Jesse Vargas.
When you have Jesse Vargas's, you got the kid from Philly, who was never a major star, who they tried to make into a major star.
And he just lost to Joseph Diaz.
That's what I'm saying. You got kids like him. Tevin Farmer, Jesse Vargas, whoever else you got over there in DAZN. They tried to get Devin Haney young. They never really had the cream of the crop of fighters that a promotional company needs. And they thought that they would turn these guys into stars in the UK, but it never translated to America, and we're the biggest market.
You needed cream of the crop, and plus you needed to have, they had some of the fighters. They had the middleweight on lockdown, I believe. Yeah. They had Triple G, they had Canelo, but they got Canelo. They needed other cream of the crop fighters that brought eyes to DAZN. It was a great promotion. Look at the pageantry that they had for Canelo, in MSG. It was sold out. Great. All right. Then you see the production less and less and less. Same thing happened with PBC, but PBC is moving on. They're making the great fights. Bob was making fun of PBC. Oh, they're just throwing money at them and that's it. But guess what? They're making the fights that people want to watch.
Making the fights that people want to watch, and they're taking
competitive ones
a step further by putting these fights in places that have fans. And I think they screwed themselves, ESPN and Top Rank, because they went and signed a huge deal with the freaking MGM Grand for the damn bubble, not realizing how long COVID was going to last, and fucking themselves, booking all these fights and fucking themselves from being able to go to places like Texas. Because Bob Arum is known to fight in Texas, plenty of fights. Pacquiao's fought here under Top Rank plenty of times.
You know why people are fighting casinos, right?
Yeah,
because they give them money. They give them money.
But I'm saying,
Bob Arum took the money. It doesn't matter about the fights. He took the money so he can guarantee a spot, so he doesn't have to move around. His overhead is very little, and he keeps most of the money anyway.
But what I'm saying is
30% as a promoter, and he takes the money from MGM.
But what I'm saying is, do you think the MGM Grand is, outside of the Lomachenko fight, do you think the MGM Grand is paying that much money to have fights that nobody can come to?
They can pay fighters more than any other place, I would say.
No.
But
if that's the case, then PBC would be fighting in Vegas.
Do you think it's a tax write-off for them?
No, what I think it is
and cut it as a loss.
Well, I mean, they're going to cut their losses anyway, right? This is freaking Bob Arum who we're talking about. So they know where to cut. But what I'm saying is that he, like DAZN, fucked up. I'm sorry, but they did. And luckily, Bob Arum has the right fighters. If Bob Arum didn't have the right fighters, he would be in the same position DAZN is in. But he does. But think about it, perspective, right? DAZN has a subscription service. They're never going to do pay-per-view. They can't. And they don't have the quality of fighters to keep.
Who does Bob have as... go ahead.
DAZN doesn't have the quality of fighters to keep up, right? Because it's like 1, 2, 3. It's like PBC, who can still put asses in seat, still do pay-per-view, and still sell out. They're number one. Number two, Top Rank. They can't put asses in seats, but they have the quality of fighters to be able to maintain. They also have the ESPN contract. So they get a lot of views, eyes on their content. And then the third doesn't have an ESPN contract, can't put asses in seats, and doesn't have the quality of fighters that people want to tune in and watch. So we moved DAZN off the board. Now we go up to Top Rank, and Top Rank only has the ESPN viewers to be able to see their fighters, hence why they can't afford to put on a pay-per-view fight. They have to put it on ESPN to get ESPN to get the views so that they can generate checks from ESPN to then get paid to then pay their fighters. I guarantee you they're losing money. So what I'm saying is you can only do that for a certain amount of time. Now, maybe it lasts until 2021, and then top-ranked fighters can start putting asses in seats and start getting that live gate money. But guess who's already ahead of the game?
ESPN has pay-per-view. What are you talking about?
No. But that's what I'm saying. ESPN, Bob Arum isn't putting any of his major fights on fucking their pay-per-view platform. Mm-hmm. The only people who's putting their fights on ESPN's pay-per-view platform is the UFC, not boxing. Yeah. And that's the specific thing that I'm saying, that PBC is able to put Showtime on pay-per-view, is able to put Fox Sports on pay-per-view, and put asses in seats. That's 3 streams of revenue that you're creating now, which, like I said, is gonna be, if it wasn't for the quality of fighters of Top Rank, they would be in the same boat DAZN is.
You done?
I'm done.
All right. Who does Top Rank have that people want to see? Bud is decorated. Bud is decorated. Hold on, I'm not finished. Bud is decorated, but collecting dust right now. But he has a good fight coming up. But is he bringing eyeballs to ESPN? No.
He is. To the free ESPN, he is, because he has those guys.
To us as boxers, boxing fans, yes, we'll watch it.
No, but think about it.
Other than that, Bud is not a star. He's a great boxer.
But that's not the argument. The argument is, what does Top Rank have behind them that allows them to promote their sub-level star fighters? Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, and 24-hour sports programming, as well as writing and social media. Mm-hmm. That's what they have behind them. And that's what they've been using. And as long as those guys continue to say, Bud Crawford is number one, Teofimo Lopez is number one, Lomachenko is number one, as long as they have that entity to continue to push that narrative, they will remain. But the numbers and the money is still dwindling. And ESPN signed that big ass contract. So they are obligated to try to push these fighters, because if it isn't for, and I will name the fighters that Top Rank has: Tyson Fury, Bud Crawford.
Half of Tyson Fury, not all.
I digress. Bud Crawford, Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko, the Josh Taylor kid,
who be pro
grade. That might be it. That might be it.
Who knows Josh Taylor?
That might be it. Because I can't think of anybody else.
Exactly.
And that's the
they're not gonna bring anything to the table. The biggest one is Bud, and that's it.
Thank you.
And Bud only can fight in Omaha and fill seats.
Thank you. So, this is probably his first time fighting in Vegas, because did he even fight Khan in Vegas?
I think so. I'm not sure.
See what I'm saying?
And they thought Khan would be a big enough name to bring all the eyes. It didn't do that well either.
You see what I'm saying?
Bob is not promoting any of these fighters, right?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Looking at his own pockets, and he's been and Bob hasn't changed.
How long do you think it lasts?
His own pockets.
How long do you think it lasts? We can sum this up, but
until the next contract he gets. But like you said, ESPN has an obligation. Yes, it's dwindling, but they're gonna still promote it, and they have mouthpieces that talk these fighters up. But there are other writers that say, guess what? Numbers, competition doesn't show it.
Did you see my rant on ESPN?
Yeah.
Was I wrong?
No, you're right.
It's bullshit.
With that being said, deuces. Until next time.
Until next time, another episode of Straight Outta Content, episode, I think, 26 on YouTube, the video version. This is such a deep conversation on this, because we're watching the transition of boxing and promotions and stuff like that really change. COVID really super affected everything. So, man, I can't wait I don't know if we're going to film before, after, or during the fight. Hopefully you get to be here in person. Thank you for coming, being on the show today. And guys, make sure you listen on all streaming platforms, and make sure you watch on YouTube. Subscribe. And you guys be safe and be basic. And thank you for tuning in. Peace.